Good afternoon. My name is Joyce, and I come to you as a former federal employee with 21 years of federal service. My last job in the federal space, I was a leadership coach and working with employees throughout the federal government, doing professional development, coaching, training, and truly will say enjoyed the experience. The 21 years did not seem like 21, but enjoyed every moment of my service to the public. I knew in my mind, I felt good about my trajectory when it came to retiring. However, I hadn't had anyone lay it out so that I could visually see it. A friend of mine had referred me to you guys. And so she had taught, we had been talking probably, we're best friends. And so probably for the last year, she kind of was telling me what she was doing. And so with that, you're always kind of hesitant. I'm getting ready to start something new. But it was always thinking about I want to be ready for retirement because I knew when I wanted to retire. One of the things I know in the federal space is that, and someone had always said, start planning your retirement 10 years out. And so 10 years ago, I had really started thinking about I started attending seminars and I'm a proactive person. So I wanted to understand retirement and I have a benefits background, however, not retirement. And so I didn't want to get to, the point where I'm ready to retire and not understand what to expect, know what to expect. And I wanted to be able to be informed and make a strategic decision about my long-term goals, which is to retire and not to return to work. So I am a visual. And for me, when she provided the report, and this wasn't a generic report, this was a report based on the information that I had given to her. And these were my numbers forecasting out. So my aha moment was like, okay, what I thought is actually what she's saying. And just being proactive. And that just clarified everything for me. Yes, met my needs, met my goals. Just even things that we don't think about later if you always want to have good health. And so how that comes into play if, something happens and you need in-house care, just it covered things that I didn't necessarily think about because we always think about I'm going to be healthy and we want that. And so, however, you think of there's other things that you have these, I say aha moments like, oh, that's good to know. And then just trusting just having that trusting relationship with Maria and just that reassurance and just it really, I needed hand holding. And I tell everybody, you save for so long. And then when it's that time to make the decision, you want to feel confident and not that you're not going to be kind of, I won't say scared, but I always say to people, do it scared. Like if you're scared, it's good. And so, I will say I looked forward to retirement and now I'm sitting in a position like, it's exactly what I wanted and exactly what I planned for. I have a clear understanding of my portfolio, my retirement, and I have a strong sense of security. And I go back to my friends and mention to them like, "Hey, give her a call," because and because what's happening now, I have people literally calling me that have portfolios out there that's six, seven figures, and they're like, "I don't know what to do now." And I'm like, you can't wait till you retire. And now you hear, like, you got to start taking money. You need to start doing this. And so it's important to have the question, have the conversation early. And it's been a great experience. Retirement is what in my mind, I wanted it to be. I feel it, I experience it, and it's been enjoyable. I said previously, because I talk to my friends that, they're in a federal space now, and we don't know what tomorrow offers. And so I say to people, if you stay ready and you've heard this, you don't have to get ready. And so at least know what to expect. And the other thing I say, it's free. Free. It's nothing you have to do. There's no cost. And it's valuable information. You can gain, just insight to, what your future looks like, what your retirement looks like. And, I think I know a lot of people that like there's no such thing as enough money. It is, and you can retire and enjoy. So I encourage them all the time. I still have a couple people on my list, and just knowing on paper and seeing what the benefits of, just the analysis, and it gives a level of comfortability looking at retirement, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years down the road. It helps tremendously in that decision making for the long-term financial confidence, which I have.